Today, we're diving into two really powerful blueprints for the future. One is a practical design science for sustainable living that was born in the 1970s. The other, it's an ancient philosophy, one rooted in deep time and an even deeper sense of responsibility. So how on earth do these two worlds connect? Well, let's find out. Let's just start with the huge question. Think about it. Most of us are busy planning for next week, maybe next year if we're really on top of things. But what if? What if you had to make decisions for people who will be alive 150 years from now? For generations you will never, ever meet, but whose worlds you are shaping with every single choice you make today. To even start to unpack a question that big, we first need to get a handle on a design philosophy that's been quietly changing how people think about sustainability for decades now. It's called permaculture.
Okay, so let's set the scene. It's the 1970s, down in Australia. There's this growing awareness about the environment, and you have a grad student, David Holmgren, and his professor, Bill Mollison. They're looking at modern agriculture and realizing, whoa, this whole system is basically eating itself. It's depleting the very soil and water it depends on. They knew there had to be a more permanent way to do things, a permanent agriculture, a permanent culture. And from that simple idea, a movement was born.
And listen, this wasn't just about making better gardens. It quickly grew into a complete system for thinking. A practical guide for designing our homes, our communities, our entire lives, so that we're working with nature, not constantly fighting against it. So, what is permaculture, really? Well, think of it like a design science. The whole goal is to create systems, whether it's a tiny backyard or an entire city, that are as strong, as efficient, and as abundant as a natural forest. It's all about learning from the patterns that nature has already perfected and applying that wisdom to solve our problems.
But here's what's absolutely crucial to understand. Permaculture isn't just a collection of clever techniques. Nope. The entire system is guided by a really clear and powerful ethical framework. Let's break it down.
Every single design, every single decision in permaculture is built on these three core ethics. And they're not just a random list. They flow one right into the next, as you can see here. They're simple, they're elegant, and they start with the very foundation of, well, everything.
The starting point, the absolute non-negotiable, is earth care. This is the simple understanding that the earth is the source of all life, all wealth, everything. Without healthy soil, clean water, and thriving ecosystems, none of our human systems, our economy, our society, can survive. It's the foundation you have to get right first.
And flowing right from that foundation comes the second ethic, people care. This reminds us that the whole point of designing these systems is to support ourselves, our families, and our communities. It's about making sure everyone has what they need to live a good life. But here's the key connection. People care is a direct result of earth care. It's simple, really. You can't have healthy people on a sick planet.
And the third ethic? Well, it ties the whole thing together and points us toward the future. You'll hear it called a few different things: fair share, care for the future, recycling of wealth, but the core idea is exactly the same. Recognize that there are limits. It's about taking only what you need, and when you have a surplus and extra, you share it. You reinvest it back into the earth and the community so that things can be abundant for everyone who comes after us. Now, this whole idea of care for the future is where permaculture finds this powerful echo in a much, much older tradition, one that gives us a totally new way to think about time. Check out this quote. It's actually one that David Holmgren uses to explain a core principle of permaculture. It might sound a little harsh, but it's a powerful statement about cause and effect. It's a recognition that our actions today don't just vanish. They create ripples that travel far, far beyond our own lifetimes. And that idea of long-term ripples connects directly to the 7 generations doctrine. This is a foundational philosophy of the Lakota people. And this isn't some vague, be nice to the future concept. No, it's a specific mandate. It says that every major decision has to be carefully weighed against the impact it will have 7 generations from now. We're talking about 150 years into the future. Just take a second and think about the weight of that. Every single decision, from how we manage a forest to how we program an AI, has to be made in service of relatives we will never meet. But their world, for better or worse, is the one we are creating right now.
And here's the really exciting part. This isn't just a neat little philosophical comparison. These two frameworks, this modern design system and this ancient spiritual guide, are being actively woven together to create a much more complete way of thinking about the future.
You can think of it like this. Permaculture provides the toolbox. It It gives us the practical ethics and the design principles. That's the how-to. And the 7 generations doctrine, that provides the deep, long-term moral compass. That's the why.
This quote from the writer Vine Deloria Jr. just nails the spirit of this whole thing. It's about seeing our lives not as these tiny, isolated moments, but as a vital link in a continuous story, connecting our ancestors to our descendants. Our meaning isn't just in what we do for ourselves, it's in our place in that story.
So, what does this all add up to? I mean, what really happens when you blend a practical design philosophy with such a profound long-term commitment?
What you get is a powerful roadmap. Permaculture gives us the how, the practical tools to design systems that actually regenerate the Earth. The 7 generations doctrine gives us the why, the profound purpose that guides every one of those actions. And together, they give us a path to a world that doesn't just sustain itself, but one that actively heals and gets better for all the generations that follow.
And so this leaves us with one last thought, bringing us right back to our opening question. What would change if every single choice you made, every seed you plant, every line of code you write, every dollar you spend, was treated like a prayer for the world of your great-great-great-great-great-grandchildren? What would you choose to do differently, starting right now?